Today on Record Breakers, Las Vegas celebrates with a £130,000 cake.
We meet some innovative world record breakers.
Catch up with the youngest blindfolded magician.
And check out a rather painful world record attempt.
Because on Record Breakers, we know there's risk takers.
There's dream chasers.
And there's record breakers.
If people are attempting it, record breakers are filming it. Get ready as we explore the outer limits of human achievement on Record Breakers.
Our first story today comes from none other than Ashrita Furman, who has chosen the British heritage site of Stonehenge for his new world record attempt, standing on a Swiss stability ball. We'll check on Ashrita's progress throughout the show.
People will do all sorts of things to get into the Guinness Book of Records, and many of them went to Germany to prove it. The Impossibility Challenger took place in Dachau to allow people who had travelled from over 13 different countries to have a go at achieving world records in non-Olympic disciplines. And some of the disciplines were more than unusual. Shobha Tipnis came all the way from India to be the first woman to blow up a hot water bottle like a balloon until it burst. While her first attempt didn't go exactly the way she'd planned, her second effort catapulted her into the record books. The crowd enjoyed watching Shobha as she pushed the boundary and completed her record-breaking attempt. She admitted she practiced for 2 hours every day to try and build her stamina and get her in shape for her big event. A Guinness World Record adjudicator was on hand to verify the record, with Shobha excited about her accomplishment.
How's this for a cool record? Two Lithuanian illusionists have set a new world record for staying the longest time within an ice block. World-class magicians Arvydas Gaučianas and his sister Diana were committed to the challenge despite the risks to their health. The couple stayed in a sealed ice block for nearly 3 days, 63 hours, 31 minutes and 15 seconds, setting a new world record. Although many people have performed this trick at different times, the attempt was the first to include a woman. The two stunt performers then proceeded to be sealed in a 12-ton block of ice to endure 63 hours, 31 minutes and 15 seconds. During their ordeal, they stood within ice without sleep, received only water and wore summer clothes, with the exception of woolly hats. They were outperforming David Blaine, one of the most famous magicians in the world, breaking his record by 1 hour and 51 minutes. A crowd of approximately 3,000 people cheered as the couple were released from the ice block named the Ice Room, which had a temperature of about 5 to 6 degrees below zero, and it stood 1.5 metres long, 1.2 metres wide and 2 metres high. Once they were out, paramedics escorted them to a nearby ambulance for transportation to a nearby hospital, but neither one sustained any health problems. Harry Houdini was the first magician to carry out the ice block trick in 1922, but the world record now belongs to Arvydas and Diana Gaučianas.
Now on to a very tasty-looking world record attempt. One of the brightest cities in the US knows how to celebrate in a very big way. Volunteers worked throughout the night to construct a £130,000 birthday cake for the city of Las Vegas, which celebrated its 100th birthday in May 2005. Hundreds of volunteers unpacked already baked portions of cake and made sure the icing was applied just right. Then they started the process of physically stacking the layers on each other and covering it with hundreds of layers of icing. The pastry chefs and volunteers are hoping the cake will make it into the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest birthday cake ever constructed.
Not to be outdone by a cake, people in Western Gujarat are also attempting a record, this time for the world's biggest bread. In a novel tribute, disciples baked a mammoth bread to remember a guru known for his selfless efforts to feed the poor. Jalaram Bapa had run a feeding centre where the needy could have a square meal at any time of the day. Jalaram's followers made a chapati measuring just fewer than 5 metres in diameter and weighing 250 kilograms to mark his birth anniversary. The chapati was served to hundreds of devotees who are in Secunderabad to attend the birth anniversary of Jalaram. Organiser Asmak Dowda said they would inform the Guinness Book of World Records about the bread, which took 12 people to make using a special pan and 12 cooking gas burners.
And while people are making bread, Israeli karate expert Viktor Raviev has failed at his record attempt as he tried to smash 52 panes of glass with his bare hands in one go. His assistants painstakingly ensured the glass was perfectly aligned as they prepared for the attempt. But despite a crushing blow to the glass, not all of them were broken. Still, Victor had a lot to be happy about as he previously broke 2 Guinness World Records by smashing concrete blocks on his head and with his hands.
Slovakian Milan Roskopf beat the present record of 23 seconds for juggling 3 balls weighing 9 kilograms each.
It's time to check up on Ashrita Furman for his record attempt at standing on a Swiss stability ball. Ashrita set the original record himself by managing to stand on the ball previously for 2 hours, 10 minutes and 57 seconds. We'll be back to check on him later in the show.
It appears the king lives on as Elvis impersonators of all ages, shapes and sizes flock to London in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the most Elvis fans singing in one venue. Known as the King, rock and roll legend Elvis Presley was born in Mississippi in 1935 and is regarded as one of the most important figures of 20th century popular culture. Despite his death 27 years ago, the event was proof that his legacy still lived on, even with the very young. Once inside and costumes ready, the fans took their positions along a set of escalators, waiting for their cue. The song chosen was appropriately Elvis's Viva Las Vegas. A total of 77 Elvis impersonators turned out for the event and sung Viva Las Vegas for over 3 minutes, enough to establish a new Guinness World Record, testament that the King was still alive. Britain's Selfridges department store on Oxford Street in central London was the venue for the bizarre gathering, and the rousing chorus was designed to get the participants into the Guinness Book of Records. During his lifetime, Elvis sold over 300 million albums and made 33 films. Elvis also gave 837 live appearances in Las Vegas over 20 years. However, the star's career ended prematurely when he was found dead at his Memphis home, Graceland, on August 16, 1977. Despite his death, Elvis will always live on in his fans.
Best friends Tarek and Gindolf invented their own innovative world record attempt in Germany recently in a challenge of strength and balance. It involves Tarek holding a 10-metre long tree trunk over his head while Gindolf walks along it and somersaults off the end. Another odd record attempt came from a very happy Eckhard Schroeder, who smiled silently for an astonishing 7 hours. While Eckhard was enjoying his attempt, some people underwent actual body damage to achieve their record. Rainer Schroeder lost teeth while training for his sport, pulling a 3-ton people carrier with a rope in his teeth. For people to achieve a Guinness Book record, adjudicators also encourage people who just want to push themselves to their own limit. While the participants sometimes come with their own ideas, they can get ideas from the Guinness Book, just like Rainer Schroeder.
She not only captivates but also leaves you awestruck with her magic tricks. At the young age of 7, Saroja Roy from India's southern Hyderabad city is the youngest blindfolded magician in the country. Saroja has been training since she was 3 under H. Gue, who has a world record in blindfold driving. Saroja can perform 6 magic tricks at a time and has been listed in the Limca Book of Records, the Indian equivalent of the Guinness Book of World Records. Saroja has done over 200 charity shows all over India and has been helping children with cancer and living in orphanages. Her parents are planning to take her to the Spanish capital Madrid to participate in the World Magic Championship to be held early next year.
Over now to an extraordinary feat of endurance from a 95-year-old Japanese man who shattered the 100 metres world record in the 95 to 99 age group at a seniors athletic meeting. Kozo Haraguchi splashed through the rain to clock 22.04 seconds in Miyazaki, southern Japan, slicing almost 2 seconds off the previous world record of 24.01 seconds. Five years ago, Haraguchi set a world record for the 90 to 94 age bracket with a time of 18.08 seconds. After rewriting the record books again, Haraguchi modestly said he had just tried to concentrate on not falling over, a mantra to which most runners adhere to. Haraguchi took up athletics at age 65 to keep fit and said the secret of his success was a 1-hour walk every morning around his neighbourhood. Sleeping and eating well are part of his record-breaking regime.
Now for another sporting record you may not be aware of. American tennis star Andy Roddick holds the world record for the fastest tennis serve by a male measured by modern equipment. Andy smashed his way into the record books when he hit the ball at 246.2 kilometres per hour during a Stella Artois Championship match against Thailand's Paradorn Srishapan at the Queen's Club in London on June 11, 2004. On August 31 of the same year, he also recorded the fastest serve in the US Open history at 244 kilometres per hour.
Set in Christchurch in Dorset, this giant shark is one of the world's biggest mazes. The garden centre, which made it, has forged a tradition of building such giant mazes over the past 3 years. Work on the biggest maze begins 6 weeks before opening, with bamboo canes used to mark out the paths and lines. All the maze plants are then put out by hand, meaning thousands of hours of back-breaking work. As the maze takes shape, it's divided into different zones. Susie Stewart, an employee at Mega Maze, says that being recognised in the Guinness Book of Records for the world's largest maze twice is a massive achievement in itself, and they hope to keep the world record as their own for a long time to come.
From the files of another "why would you do that" world record attempt comes Gil Safar from Pakistan. Gil's lifelong ambition is to hang a 55-kilogram weight from his ear and hold it for 7 seconds. The expression of pain on his face is enough to deter anyone else from wanting to attempt the record, so we think Gil will be safe with this world record for a little while yet. After his sore ears stop hurting, Gil's preparing to train to lift a 60-kilogram weight with his ear. We'll definitely leave that attempt up to him.
Mikesh could definitely run for the title of the world's fattest cat. The black and white house cat weighs 18.5 kilograms, about 6 times the weight of cats his age. The animal can no longer clean itself, and after 3 or 4 steps struggles to walk as it's completely exhausted. Mikesh, who was brought to the animal shelter after his owner was taken to state care for the elderly, will be put on a strict diet to reduce his weight to ensure he doesn't die from health-related diseases. Mikesh may make it to fame in Germany, but he won't make it into the Guinness Book of World Records. A spokesperson for Guinness World Records said that they don't keep track of fat cats any longer, but said the existing record was 18.55 kilograms, a cat from Minnesota named OT. With thousands of entries each month to Guinness for the fattest cat, there seems to be stiff competition for the title, with a woman from Russia claiming her animal weighs a staggering 23 kilograms.
A southern Italian town is hoping to set a world record with the creation of a 700-metre-long meat and salami sandwich. Bakers and construction workers in the southern Puglia hilltop town of Motola baked, stuffed and then cut a 1,500-kilogram sandwich into 19,000 pieces. The mega sandwich required up to 800 kilograms of flour, 400 litres of water and 200 kilograms of salt. "50 construction workers with cranes were needed to pass the lengthy loaf of bread on a conveyor through a massive oven, which cooked it in sections before it was stuffed with 300 kilograms of mortadella and 200 kilograms of salami and laid out in the streets." Workers from the local bakery worked together for almost 24 hours to beat the previous Italian record set in the northern city of Milan, with a 347-metre sandwich that was filled with Nutella chocolate spread.
While over in Latvia, a new world record was set when a 600-kilogram rye bread dessert was made within 3 hours, making it the biggest in the world. The dessert was made of layers, one of rye bread, followed by one of sour jam, and finally a sweet whipped cream that forms the top layer. In order to create the record 15 square metre cake, 250 kilograms of rye bread, 200 kilograms of jam and 150 kilograms of whipped cream were put to use. About 6,000 people gathered to watch the event and to enjoy a serve of the rye bread layered dessert, a traditional Latvian sweet, the recipe of which is many years old. After spending more than 24 hours on the sweet, it's not something many people can expect to get after tea, so many will have to settle for ice cream and sprinkles instead.
Albert Walter has broken the world record for phone book ripping after he tore up a 750-page telephone directory in less than 3 seconds.
Back to world record breaker extraordinaire Ashrita Furman and his Swiss ball record attempt. While the wind kept peaking throughout the challenge, Furman managed to stay firmly on the ball. We'll be back shortly to see if his attempt was a successful one.
Now for some Hollywood record breakers you may not be aware of. Elvis Presley holds the world record for the most hit singles on the US charts, with 149 hit singles between 1956 and 1996.
The best-selling movie soundtrack is Saturday Night Fever, with sales of over 30 million. Of the 17 tracks on the album, 10 were hit singles, with 6 reaching #1 on the US charts.
Baywatch is the most widely viewed TV series in the world, with an estimated weekly audience of more than 1.1 billion in 142 countries.
Anthony at 22 and Neely at the famous Tower 20.
Spider-Man took a record 43.6 million on its second day of opening in the USA on May 4, 2002. The comic book adaptation went on to take over $115 million during its opening weekend.
The record for the most computer-generated shots in a movie belongs to Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, with over 2,000 digital shots in its 106-minute running time. The entire film was shot against a blue screen, with everything except the main characters computer-generated.
The youngest artist to ever have a #1 album is Stevie Wonder, who was only 13 when his album, Little Stevie Wonder, the 12-year-old genius, topped the US charts in 1963. He's also the solo artist to have won the most Grammy Awards, having taken home 19 of the prestigious prizes throughout his career.
The world's top-earning supermodel is currently Gisele Bündchen, who earned $12.5 million in 2001, according to the Forbes Celebrity 100 list, released on June 21, 2002. The Victoria's Secret model, labelled the most beautiful girl in the world by Rolling Stone magazine, has beaten a long list of other beauties, including Heidi Klum and Kate Moss.
Ashrita Furman has broken yet another Guinness World Record. After 2 hours, 16 minutes and 2 seconds, the feat of standing on a Swiss stability ball was accomplished. Furman had once again managed to break another world record. He currently holds more records than anyone at any time, 20 of them. Well done, Ashrita. We look forward to seeing your next attempt on Record Breakers.
Good job.